So, as a reviewer, this is going to be a little bit of a different kind of review because usually I analyze and talk about a film, but for a film like Superbad, this is basically going to be me just dropping quotes, basically, from beginning to end. I had to see. I started this film because I've seen it many times. The first time I watched it, I was in college and I was 18. And this was basically like my American Pie. Because I remember my aunt showing me American Pie in, I don't know, 2002 or something like that. And I was young, so I didn't get any of it. And it was just meh. And then I grew up and watched American Pie and found it amazing. But this was the one where I watched for the first time and I was in college. I just got into college because I went straight to college from high school. So I was 18, grade 12, straight to college. Watched this and I gave it 4.5, but then I boosted it to 5 when I started making the notes because, ugh, P and the G. She wants to kicks a soccer ball. Fuck, man. She wants to fuck me. She wants my dick in and around her mouth. You think maybe that she's just talking to you because she wants to use you for alcohol? She doesn't want your dick. Like I said, it's already starting. So we start with Seth. We got Seth and Evan, who are best friends, and there's always like the jokiness of like they're inseparable. They're like boyfriend and boyfriend. It's subtle, and they're not. They're completely straight, but they're just like they're going to different colleges, and they're so tied to the hip, kind of. Even the mom, like at the beginning, before Seth, like Seth's driving and he's going to pick up Evan, and the mom, when he gets to the house, is like, "What are you gonna do with each other after college?" And he's like, "Oh, well, what, like, I'm just gonna, well, when I'm out partying and shit, like, what do you think? I can't live without him or something like that?" And he's like, "I'm so happy. I'm so jealous that you got to suck on those tits when you were young." And Evan's like, "Yeah, well, at least you got to suck on your dad's dick." What? What? Oh my god. Oh fuck this movie. And he's talking about cell phones and porn, which remind me of like back in the day when like you actually like subscribed to porn websites or you subscribed to men's magazines where they'd ship you like one a month for like $10, and you had to like pay for a monthly well, you still do, but I mean we live in a day and age where it's, those things are much more readily available kind of thing. And they go to the corner store and they're talking like just the banter with them. It's like, oh, like it hides it and it feels incredible. I almost blew a load into my belly button talking about the way he like puts away. Fuck. I swear I have to put like 18 plus on this review. I wish girls would just be like not afraid of dicks and just like want to see them. Like that's the world I want to live in. How is it an insult when girls are afraid of dick getting abilities? If I was appreciated for my dick giving it abilities, I'd be stoked. And then the mullet guy outside of the corner store, he's like a dick, but he's so fucking creepy looking that it's funny. And then there's Seth and Evan's love interests. Evan is really into this girl named Becca, and Seth is really into this girl named Jules, played by Emma Stone, who's gorgeous in this movie, especially in this movie because of her hairstyle. I love redheads in general, but just she has like kind of like she has like a hairstyle that like covers one of her eyes. It's really cute. I just love every hallway scene with Evan and Becca. When the one she's like, "Thank you for your pen," and he's just like, "Oh no, you can keep it. He's, it's next time you don't have to ask me for one. It's all good." And then she's asking him like, "Oh, what do you do for?" And he's like, "Oh, I do a bunch of like fun shit. There's always fun shit going on." And she's like, "Oh, really? I just never see you at parties or anything." And he's like, yeah, that's because of all the crazy fun shit that I'm doing all the time. He starts describing like, oh, I hung out with a bunch of adults and like, uh, we did like some crazy fun shit, and it's just his friends at like some parents' party, like chugging hot sauce and doing stupid ass shit. And he's like, oh, yeah, we went to a club and we got right in, and then they get kicked out. Like, he's saying, well, we got right in, and then the scene is like them being thrown out, and the Fogel's amazing. I'm gonna talk a lot about Fogel or McLovin. He's like, fuck you, which is like not like his character, so like I can't see Fogel or McLovin like lifting up his shirt to a bouncer, but he's hilarious when he comes into the classroom and he's like, chicka chicka, yeah, yeah, chicka chicka. this this review is gonna have a lot of laughter and a lot of bleeps because holy fuck. Like, oh my god, there's when Seth is like, you don't want to go to college thinking that girls think you see. That's being edited, that's for sure. Um,
My favorite part of this movie is when
Julie's ready for a salad and she needs Seth's special dressing. And then there's Evan in the hallway, accidentally punching the Becca's boob because he got bumped into from some guy, and he just goes like this and he punches her boob, and he's like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Like he just came like super awkwardly. It's the the thing that's funny about this movie, especially watching it at my age now, is because I can relate to how realistic that is when you're in high school, but how much you learn. So you look back and you're like, oh my god, these kids are fucking stupid. Not, but it's like I was stupid. So that's the thing. When I was 18, I was a dumbass, and I'm looking at these kids and I'm being like, stop being a dumbass. But that's because I've grown and matured. It's like, get the girl. Like she's clearly she wants you to go to a party so you can hook up, you know? Like, but just the shyness and the immaturity, it's so hilarious to watch these kinds of films again when you're older, to realize it's like, oh my gosh, these kids are so there's a word for it, clueless. And I'm watching and I'm like, I was that clueless too. But it's insane. This is gonna be one hell of a long review. My goodness. Um, the scene where the first liquor store scene where Seth goes in and then he's having all his like fantasies about how it's gonna go. How old are you, sir? 22. You certainly are. That'll be $80. Oh, great. Whips out an $80 bill. Thank you, Seth. You have a great day. Old lady. Oh, you dropped your purse. Oh, thank you, young man. Would you like me to buy you alcohol? That would be wonderful. Enjoy your remaining years. I will. Enjoy Jules. I will. Oh, fuck me, man. Ugh. And take off the vest. You look like Aladdin. You look like Pinocchio. And then they go to the second liquor store. It's, oh my god. This whole thing is bigger than you, Fogel, so grow a pair of nuts and walk in there and buy the alcohol. What if I don't feel like it anymore? Then I'll fucking kill you. I'll fucking grab a knife and put it in your fucking heart. That wouldn't help you anything. You don't. I'm the one with the fake ID. Okay, then I'll carve your face off, put it over mine, and go buy it myself. And then there's Eminem'S favorite scene Marshall Mathers, which and the stupid cops coming into the liquor store. Oh fuck! And I love the guy in the liquor store too. The worker. He's like, "Sir, did you do this on the floor?" And Fogel's like, no." And maybe somebody should like clean this up because somebody can really hurt themselves. And shakes his head, and the guy's like, "Fuck my life." And yeah, the woman, she's like, Fogel goes up to the register. He's like, "Hello, Mindy," trying to be casual, and it's like the least casual thing. Like he wouldn't even get two words in, and she would already ask him for his identification. But she starts checking him out and like getting his liquor through, and then she's like, okay, I'm gonna need some identification." After he's like, "Oh, I heard they put like some in it in the beer." And then she accepts it and she looks at his ID, which is McLovin, the ID. I forgot to mention that. McLovin, a 25-year-old from Hawaii. That's what he decides for his face. It was between that and Muhammad. Why the fuck would it be between McLovin and Muhammad? Like, why did you just pick a normal fucking name? Muhammad is the most commonly used name on earth. Read a fucking book for once. And actually, it's a fact that Muhammad is the most commonly used name on earth. Uh, oh, I'm. These are my notes, and I'm like here. Okay, this is gonna be long. All right, and there's more in the back. I. This movie's amazing. And then they get to when Fogel's buying the alcohol. Seth gets hit by somebody, and he's like, "I'm sorry, I didn't even effing see you at all, man." And he's actually a really funny actor. He was in, I think it was "I Love You, Man," the guy with like the squeaky voice. But he's a really funny actor. But in this movie, he just plays like this really creepy guy who, hey, I'm a nice guy, but he's like talking to kids weird. Like he's like, yeah, you remind me of my brother Jimmy or something. You look exactly the same. Yeah. Who's getting late tonight? You are. You guys have MySpace or? And Seth is just like he just does that stare, and then he takes him to the most sketchy party in the world, and he's like, "It's got booze, it's got girls. You know what that means? Booze and girls. I don't know. Do you? I don't know. Do you?" And then there's Seth in the everybody's dancing and Seth walks through, and the girl just walks up to Seth and starts grinding. And we've all, as guys, if you're a guy watching, had these experiences with this like extremely intoxicated drunk girl coming up and being like rubbing up on you, and you don't know what to do because you don't want to be like no thanks, but you just have to like kind of go with it. And she's like, "Hey, you dance hot," and it's like he's like he goes with it. He's just like grinding for like 5 minutes, and then Evan is in the party, and he goes up to that room to call Becca with the landline, and then these guys just walk in and like start chatting and don't even know he's there, but like then they realize he's there, and one's like, "Hey, who's that guy?" "He's the singer. Yeah, he can sing." And then they're all like, "Sing for us." I'd be so scared. I'd be so terrified. Like, especially at 18, I'd be like, okay, I just want to get the fuck out of here. And same with Seth with the girl. I just want to get the fuck out. And the girl who's dancing with Seth, she just like pieces out and is like, "Thanks." And then the guy who's having the sketchy party is obviously sketchy, and he he confronts Seth and it's like, "What, what? It's detergent. Yeah, what are you doing with it?" I got blood on my pants. Because the girl had her time of the month. And then she starts like whipping a lamp at him, and calls the cops, which that party's so sketchy. Why would you have police over there? Like, fuck, you're gonna be busted for something. And it's like, oh, whatever his name was. So I called the cops. You gotta hide your gun. So good, and Evan too. Like with the guys upstairs, he starts singing. He wants to get the fuck out of Dodge. Like I would want to get the fuck out of Dodge, but he's like held pretty much hostage by these drunk, high on whatever dudes who are bigger, way bigger than him, and he's like, and they're all like, "Sing for me. You're the man who can sing. My brother came from however far, and you're not gonna sing for him. You want cocaine? Yeah." I'd be so fucking scared. I'd be so scared. I'd be like, I just want to go. At my age, I'd be like that. At fucking 33, I'd be like that. But at 18, I'd be like, I just want to go. I just sprint, like sprint out of the fucking house as fast as I possibly can. Oh, fuck. Um, and then I really like the Seth and Evan fight because there's a lot of elements that are very the broness in them is real because there was always that like joking like oh like we don't we're not attached to the hip like what do you think I'm not going to survive because we're going like to separate colleges. And then there's that scene where Seth finds out that Fogel and Evan are going to be rooming together in the same college and he feels like betrayed. And it's really, really sweet the way that's played because he's so hurt and then he's at the party and he kind of does his own thing. He says, fuck Evan, whatever. He's a piece of shit. And Evan's like, I got into a good college. Like, why are you mad about it? Like, and it's there's that broness where what I mean is like guys are like so afraid to show their emotions to one another because of like societal like oh what are you boyfriend and boyfriend like kind of thing. And then they have that moment where they're talking to each other when they're like about to go to sleep and they're like, you know what, I love you, you're my best friend, Evan. And and then it goes kind of like boop boop boop, kind of weird, but weird in a funny way. Like it's actually funny, not weird like they start you know banging or anything. But not that that would be a problem. That's totally okay. Just saying, different kind of bonding. We're not talking about sexual bonding. We're talking about best friend bonding. That's and a lot of people get that mixed. It's like, oh well, just like I love my best friend, and he says like I love you. I love my best friend Evan, and he that's what he means. He loves his best friend Evan. Doesn't mean he wants to go to the bedroom with him and do funny stuff. It just means he loves his best friend as a person because his best friend has always been there. So, and I gotta give it, and I forget the actress's name who plays Becca, but I've seen her in other films, and the I'm gonna this is gonna sound really bad, but I always refer to her as the blowjay girl because one of my favorite scenes in Superbad is I want to give you the best blowjay ever. And every time I see her, I'm like, I know her name. I'll look it up. I'll even put it down here. And I've seen her. She's a great actress. But I always see her, and I'm like, it's the blowjay. She's in Dead Before Dawn. She's in Dead Before Dawn as well, and that's such a great B level zombie film. So if you want to look up Dead Before Dawn, I love that film. So funny. Zombie comedy kind of thing. And yeah, I just love that whole situation. And here's the thing: when I was watching this film uh, the last time, because I watch films usually a few times through as I take my notes, just so I cover everything. This is why my reviews sometimes can get pretty long. Is this film already outdated? Because there obviously is the whole like politically and culturally we've gone to different places, but 2007, would this film in 2022 already be like outdated? Because Evan goes to the party. Evan starts talking to this girl, and he's like, "Oh," and the girl is like, "Oh, Becca, like she said something along the lines of she will totally blow you tonight," and he's like, "Yeah, but she's like so drunk. Like, would that be etiquette?" And the girl's like, "Oh, not if you're drunk too." And then Evan, like a teenager, goes up to the bathroom and just starts chugging vodka so he can get drunk so he can fuck Becca. And then they go to the bedroom and Becca wants him. She consents. She's wasted, but so is he. But she consents. So and then she like starts macking him and he's very, oh my god, he's oh, your cock is so smooth. Yeah, I'm sure you would have one too if you were a man. Okay. Oh fuck, and you just like everything she says. I'm getting the blow J thing is makes me laugh, but she's fully like consenting to the situation, and they're both intoxicated. And then she says something like, "I don't understand why you're being such a bitch about it." And he's like, "Did you just call me a bitch?" And then she starts barfing everywhere, and she's like, "Go get my best friend." And I watched that scene, and I've been at parties, and I wonder, like, could she call, like, could she make a situation out of it? Like, say, like, he took advantage of her kind of thing. Because those things are important to talk about. I really advocate, if that's the right word, of, like, situations like that. Like, it's very common sense to know what's right and what's wrong. You know, if you're sober and somebody else is intoxicated like crazy, nothing should happen. 100%. But consent is consent. And regret is not the R thing, I believe. I think that everybody should just be careful in what they do and careful with their decisions. But I don't think because you've had one too many, I do think if you've had one too many and the other person has not, is taking advantage. But I think if both of you have had one too many and then you decide to get frisky and then one of you regrets it, that's not the R word, okay? That's not. I'm I'm just saying. But it raises that question. I just that's I'm rambling, but it raises that question just to talk about kind of thing. And that situation just specifically had me thinking about that. And then there's the mall scene, which is also hilarious because they're all like, "Oh, I don't remember anything last night," which is like what every teen says. And then, but right after, they're like, "I'm sorry for acting like such a dick." But you just said you don't remember anything about last night. So it's like that cover up. It's like that, "Oh, I know we both like acted up." Like when Seth is like, you wouldn't date me, Jules, if you weren't drunk." And Jules is like, "Well, I don't drink." Like she doesn't drink. She bought alcohol for everybody at the party, and she's like, and Seth is like, "Look at you. Look at me. You wouldn't be with me if you weren't drinking." And he's so drunk. But that's where his insecurities too come out, and the director of this movie, um, Greg Mottola, knows how to subtly play with young people's emotions and how young people deal with things and how young people have insecurities but make themselves like they boost their egos to such high levels that it's almost like a detriment. It's almost like shooting yourself in the foot. It's like, why do you need to? And then eventually you grow up and you're just like, why? Why? Like, the right people will be there and the wrong people don't need to be there. It's just, it's such an impactful film disguised as a teen comedy kind of thing. It's it's so there's so many aspects of this film that it's so heartwarming, but at the same time there's so many elements of this film that are just so comical. Seth falls on Jules. What the fuck? Ow! Fogel's getting arrested. Oh my god, the fuck. I didn't even talk about the cops. Bill Hader and Seth Rogen, they are hilarious. Oh my goodness, I can't believe I didn't even like I barely spoke about them at the liquor store. Like, he kind of looked like Eminem. Oh, like an Eminem, like Marshall Mathers, Eminem, the rapper. He kind of looked like you. Oh, so he looked like a Jew. And then they come into the party and just like even the oh my gosh, I could talk about so much. I'm going on 25, almost 25 minutes. Well, more than that probably. Fuck, Bill Hader's dancing at the party. I swear I could play this on repeat. Don't trust the police, no justice, no peace. They got me face down in the middle of the street. And he's just dancing like he just busted this party, and then he's like, I think he's holding a beer, maybe not, but man. And then they torch a cop car, and they're like, shit, the cops, and they're cops. Oh man, if I'm done, like if you've seen this movie, this is a spoiler review, so if you've seen this movie, you understand how genius this is. But I've really dove into it and realized how great of a film Superbad is. And I cannot recommend it enough. It's my American Pie. The If I was 19 or something in 1999, American Pie would be it. But I was 18 in 2007, and this is my and I watched it and I found it funny, but like growing up, you get different aspects of things, and it's a really heartfelt film, and it's extremely extremely hilarious. And I'm gonna leave it with the last quote when Seth is trying on pants and he's asking Evan how they look, and he's like bending like sideways, and he's like, "Yeah, I want to see if this like fits my body, and like I want to know the right angles to put my like sometimes it looks like ball dick ball." I want it to not look like that, and then Evan's like, "Oh yeah, like a equal sign." Anyways, that's super bad. Subscribe to Morgan Film Fan if you like to watch my videos, if you like to listen to my voice. I'll be back with more reviews when I can. I wanted to talk way more, but like this video is going forever. So, like I said, if you've watched this film, you know what I'm talking about. So, take care, and until next review, have a good one and cheers.